Hi, fifth graders. We are on our last science lesson for the entire school year, and it's probably one of the coolest ones, one of the most relevant ones. So talking about this whole engineering unit that we've been doing, we talked about simple machines, we talked about gears, we talked about tools and how they all work together. But overall, what does it all mean? What does it have to do with you and your life in the future? So for this lesson is all about engineering occupations. Okay, so the whole unit was all about engineering. This is how you can apply it to your real life. Okay, so if you've ever thought about being some type of engineer, if you're really good at math, if you're really good at science, and you thought, hey, I'd like to be some type of engineer, this lesson is going to tell you how you can put all this together, because there are so many different types of engineering occupations out there. So this is going to give you a little insight into what different things you can do with all of this knowledge and information. Okay, so we're on page 11 of your engineering booklet, and the title is Engineering. Okay, so paragraph 1 says, engineering is the application of scientific concepts for practical purposes, such as the design of machines, structures, products, and systems. 4 main branches of engineering are mechanical, civil, electrical, and chemical engineering. And this is just 4 of them. There's actually even more than that. Okay, so basically the main thing of engineering is the application of scientific concepts for practical purposes. So it's taking what you know about science and applying it to real life. Okay, so at the beginning of the first sentence, highlight the word engineering. And then you have your 4 main branches are mechanical, civil, electrical, and chemical. Okay, there's also specialized branches, like I said, so like aeronautical, that has to do with airplanes, industrial, nuclear, and petroleum engineering. Okay, so those are just some other specialized types. There's also like environmental engineering, computer engineering. There's so many different types of branches of engineering. So paragraph 2, we're going to talk about what each of the main branches does. So engineers are creative problem solvers. Mechanical engineers design and construct machines and systems involving motion. So something that's moving is mechanical. That's what a mechanical engineer does. They design machines and systems that have to do with moving things around. Civil engineers design and construct buildings, transportation systems, water systems, and sanitary systems. Okay, so if you think about like highway systems and how they all work together and how the interstate can go clear across the United States, that was an engineer that was responsible for designing that. Was several engineers actually, but any type of highway system, a waterway system, plumbing system, all those kinds of not really electrical, but city type of systems and state systems that all work together, that's a civil engineer. Okay, electrical engineers design and construct electrical, electronic, and electromagnetic equipment and systems. Okay, so if you're thinking about all the different types of wires that work all together to deliver us our electricity, and all the different types of electrical functions you can think of out there having to do with anything involving electricity, they need an electrical engineer to design those things. Chemical engineers solve problems that involve the production and use of chemicals, fuels, drugs, foods, and other products. Okay, so kind of like basically, if you have some type of man-made food or other substance, a chemical engineer was involved in putting it all together. And how does it all work together? How do these foods work together? How can I develop a vaccine for coronavirus? You need a chemical engineer to figure out how the different pieces can work together. Okay? So anything involving chemical. And of course, those offshoots, like I was talking about, like aeronautical, there's different pieces that work with aeronautical engineering. Like you will have a mechanical engineer talking about the mechanics of the airplane, and you're going to have electrical pieces of the airplane. So that'll be an electrical engineer part as well. Okay, so now we're going to highlight those 4 different branches we talked about. So at the beginning of the second sentence, highlight the word mechanical. The beginning of the third sentence, highlight the word civil. At the beginning of the fourth sentence, highlight the word electrical. And at the beginning of the last sentence, highlight the word chemical. Okay, so just think about mechanical has to do with machines. We're designing machines. Civil has to do with like things we use as a community type of thing, like buildings, transportation systems, water systems, all that kind of stuff, things that we use on an everyday kind of basis. Okay, let's see what else. Electrical, anything to do with electricity or an electromagnetic equipment. It's going to be an electrical engineer. Chemical engineer, something with chemicals, fuel, food, drugs, other products, any type of chemical type thing. It's going to have to do with chemical engineer designing how they can work together. Okay, so thinking about what we've been learning, the title of the booklet is Investigating Tools and Machines. So what branch of engineering do you think we've been talking about this entire time? Okay, think about machines. It's all been about machines. So we've only been discussing one branch of engineering in this whole booklet, and that is mechanical engineering. We just talked about machines, how they all work together and how they help us perform tasks and they help us do work. Okay, so it's all been about mechanical engineering. So if you want to write on your front cover above the word engineering, you can write the word mechanical because now you know it's specifically mechanical engineering. Okay? And there's actually, if you want to learn more about different types of engineering occupations, so we just talked about types of engineering there are. That's not even the titles of people who have these types of jobs. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do with that. So the United States Department of Labor has a website that describes occupations and gives employment forecasts. That means, like, are they going to have a lot of need for engineers in the future? Basically, if you want to go into engineering, you're going to find a job. Engineers have a very easy time finding jobs because they're always in need. We always need somebody to put all our systems together, right? We always need someone to design machines. We always need someone to figure out how the roadways are going to work together, all that kind of stuff. Engineering jobs are always going to be in demand. Okay, so there is a link to the website on the Nancy Larson website if you want to check out all the different engineering occupations and see what types of jobs that entails and what the need is for it. So on the website, it's the, what did I say it was? United States Department of Labor. The Department of Labor just has to do with people's jobs, like what's the unemployment rate right now, all that kind of stuff. So if you click on the occupation in the column at the left, you're going to find more information on that occupation. Okay, and then there's a chart at the bottom of page 11. It says you will choose 3 occupations from the list on the website that you think might interest you in the future. And this is just an optional thing that you can do. If you think you're interested in engineering, this would be very helpful for you to do, to get thinking about your future a little bit. I'm not going to grade you for doing this, but like I said, it would really benefit you if you have an interest in engineering. Okay, so you can choose 3 occupations from the list that you think might interest you and then summarize the information about the occupations in that chart in your booklet. Okay, and then there's going to be a short lesson review after you're done with this, and that is the entire 5th grade science for the entire year. And there would have been a test on this, but of course we ran out of time, so you lucked out again. You didn't have to take a test over the whole engineering unit. But make sure you check out those different engineering occupations, especially if you're good at math and science. It's definitely something to check out. Okay? And we'll see you next time.